I got an email this week from Bill with a question about breakfast, and he listed 2 different breakfast options and asked me which one I thought would be better. But I didn't actually love either one of them. One was higher in protein, but completely devoid of fiber. The other was higher in fiber, but quite low in protein. Well, today for Bill and for everyone else, I have 9 tips that will help you make sure that your breakfast is ringing all the bells. Hello and welcome to the Nutrition Diva podcast, a show where we take a closer look at nutrition news, research, and trends and answer your food and nutrition questions. I'm your host, Monica Reinagel, and today I have 9 tips that will help you avoid some of the most common breakfast pitfalls and make sure that you're getting the most out of your morning meal. Tip number 1, make your breakfast bigger. One common breakfast mistake is simply not eating enough. When you wake up in the morning, it's probably been at least 8 to 10 hours since you've eaten, so you're basically running on empty. Is it realistic to expect a 200-calorie breakfast to last 5 hours? Probably not. The typical adult needs somewhere between 1,800 and 2,400 calories a day, and most people are awake for 16 to 18 hours a day. So here's a little rule of thumb. A meal should provide at least 100 calories for every hour it will be until your next meal, or until bedtime. So if it's going to be 5 hours until lunchtime, you should probably be eating closer to 500 calories at breakfast. Now, some of you are going to find that number shockingly large, but that's because you've been brainwashed to think that a 90-calorie breakfast bar or a 100-calorie yogurt cup is a good weight management strategy. But an ultra-low-calorie breakfast is going to backfire if you're already hungry again by the time you get to work. If you're only going to eat 200 calories for breakfast, you'd better plan for a mid-morning snack because you're going to need it. And in the absence of such a plan, you are much more likely to succumb to that box of donuts that some thoughtful person brought in to share with the team. And if you're someone who just doesn't wake up with a big appetite, dividing that 500-calorie morning meal into a small breakfast and then a healthy mid-morning snack is certainly an acceptable alternative. Tip number 2 is to increase the protein to carbohydrate ratio. Cereal, fruit, whole grain toast, these can all be part of your breakfast if you want, but they shouldn't be all of it. Adding a bit more protein will help to keep you full, it'll boost your metabolism a little, and it'll help you hold on to that lean muscle tissue. So spread your toast with peanut butter in addition to jelly, or top half a bagel with some salmon. Add a scoop of protein powder or tofu to your smoothie. Cook an egg into your oatmeal. Switch from regular yogurt to Greek yogurt. Tip number 3 is to lose the sugar. American breakfast staples like granola, fruit-flavored yogurts, and milkshake-like coffee drinks can exhaust your recommended daily maximum for added sugars before your eyes are even fully open. And many people do tell me that when they start the day with a big dose of sugar, they seem to have more sugar cravings all day long. So if you eat cold cereal, look for ones with less than 10 grams of added sugar per serving. Choose plain yogurt and add some berries or some sliced fruit for a nutrient-dense touch of sweetness. And if you like your coffee or tea with sugar or sweetened creamers, this might be a place to substitute a low-calorie sweetener. And you can see last week's episode for more on that. Tip number 4, include some vegetables. One of the reasons that many people struggle to get 5 servings of vegetables a day is that they don't start until dinner time. So why not start with breakfast? Enjoy a veggie omelet or frittata, or pile some salsa onto your scrambled eggs, or add a few slices of tomato to your bagel and salmon. Have vegetable juice instead of orange juice, or add some spinach to your smoothie. You get the idea. Tip number 5 is to add some healthy fats. Healthy fats like those in avocado can help boost the absorption of nutrients from fruits and vegetables, and plus they're delicious. So throw some avocado into your green smoothie, or add a couple of slices to your salmon and tomato bagel. Adding walnuts, chia seeds, or hemp hearts to your oatmeal is another way to get some healthy fats at breakfast. Tip number 6 is to chew your food. Mom was right about this one. Chewing food more thoroughly increases your absorption of nutrients, and it aids in digestion, reducing pesky symptoms like gas and bloating. Now, there's no specific number of times that you have to chew each bite, and some foods just require more chewing than others. But when you consider that most of us chew each bite of food just 5 to 7 times before swallowing it, we could probably all benefit from slowing down and chewing more thoroughly. Tip number 7 is to put a buzz on, a caffeine buzz, that is. Based on the number of emails I have gotten in response to a couple of recent episodes focusing on coffee, I know I'm preaching to the choir on this one, but a caffeinated beverage will increase alertness and help you swing into your workday with more focus and concentration. People who regularly enjoy coffee or tea also enjoy lower risks of many diseases, such as type 2 diabetes, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's disease. And believe it or not, drinking tea or coffee will not dehydrate you. Yes, caffeine can be a diuretic. However, coffee and tea contain far more water than you might lose through that diuretic effect. So they represent a net increase in fluid intake. But more to the point, those diuretic effects diminish with regular consumption. So if you drink them regularly, then coffee and tea are virtually just as hydrating as plain water. I know. Tip number 8 is to make it the night before. One of the biggest reasons people skip or skimp on breakfast is that they simply run out of time in the morning, so making breakfast the night before solves that problem. You can stir uncooked rolled oats into Greek yogurt along with some fresh or frozen fruit and put it in the fridge to soften up overnight. Or use your slow cooker to make steel-cut oats while you sleep. Or expand your notion of what breakfast food is. You'd be surprised how well reheated leftovers work as a morning meal. One of my favorite breakfasts is a small piece of fish and some roasted vegetables left over from a previous night's dinner. Don't knock it till you've tried it. In fact, savory breakfasts featuring meat, fish, or tofu and vegetables are actually very common in other cultures. In Japan, you're likely to be served a bowl of miso soup for breakfast. In Scandinavia, you'd probably eat some pickled fish for breakfast. Spiced lentils and rice are a common breakfast in India. So don't be afraid to think outside the cereal box. And tip number 9 is to take it with you. If you don't have time to eat before you leave, or you're just not hungry first thing in the morning, take some or all of your breakfast with you to eat later. Contrary to popular myth, delaying your breakfast is not going to slow your metabolism down for the day. In fact, delaying breakfast effectively shortens your eating window. It's a technique popularly known as intermittent fasting, which may help with weight control. The key here is to make sure that your delayed breakfast is still a healthy one. No fair skipping breakfast and then throwing yourself on the muffin tray at the 10 a.m. staff meeting. And, just as an aside, cutting down on evening snacking can go a long way toward invigorating your morning appetite. I want to thank Bill for sending in the question that sparked today's episode. You don't have to choose between a high-protein breakfast and a high-fiber one. With a couple of tweaks and a little thought, you can have both and build a morning meal that keeps you fueled until lunch. If you have a food or nutrition question that you'd like me to answer on an upcoming episode, you can email it to nutrition@quickanddirtytips.com. And if you're listening on Spotify right now, look for the poll in your player and vote for your favorite breakfast. Nutrition Diva is a quick and dirty tips podcast. Holly Hutchings is our director of podcasts. Steve Riekeberg is our audio engineer. Morgan Christensen heads up podcast operations and advertising. Rebecca Sebastian is our manager of marketing and publicity. Nat Hoops is our marketing and operations assistant. And Maram El-Naguib is our podcast associate. Thanks to all of them, and thanks to you for listening.